Hi, this is Michael from Strabismusworld.com. I've been meaning to write a new article, but I think people like more the stream of consciousness videos that I've been making, some of them on YouTube, so I thought I'll make another video. So today I want to address the question, is strabismus inheritable? Is it something in the genes, or is it more a learned condition that the brain can unlearn? And in my opinion, no one is 100% predetermined to have strabismus. Even if you're born with it, it can still be unlearned if the baby is stimulated correctly and it is unlearned to use the eyes properly, so it is trained to use the eyes properly. So there's congenital strabismus, the one which we're born with. Then there's infantile strabismus, which occurs at the point of 1 year old. And then there's accommodative strabismus at 3 years old, which usually occurs at the age of 3 or 4. And in my case, I acquired strabismus at the age of 3. Then it is really, it was, in my case, it was definitely caused by outside influence, like not getting glasses on time and not having proper help in a timely fashion. But I can understand that people who are born with strabismus, they might think, yeah, I was just born with it, so what can I do about it? But even, like, let's say you're born with it, so you think it's inevitable. I don't think so. You're born with your brain, your eyes, and you have a certain genetic makeup, but genes are not destiny. There's a range in which you are flexible, which you are malleable. So I don't think that there is a genetic makeup that predetermines 100% within the range that you can choose from to be strabismic. Like even like fundamental things like sex or sexual preference, let's say, are not 100% genetic. So it's kind of interesting to think about that. If something early in your environment changed, I might have been gay, which would have been fine, but I'm not. But it's interesting to think about that even something as fundamental as sexual preference is partly genetic, partly due to environmental influences. And that really kind of settled my view on the issue that even if you're born strabismic, that there is some kind of some kind of thing you can do environmentally that can undo your current situation, certainly if you intervene at a very young age as a baby. And what you can do about it, that's another discussion. There's a lot of different vision therapy exercises, and for babies who cannot cooperate, there's more stimulation kind of a treatment, but there's a lot you can do. So people nowadays get the advice like there's not much you can do. Then the doctor first he doesn't do proper testing, so often far-sighted babies, they fall through the cracks and they don't get glasses, which is really vital to avoid strabismus at a young age. Like if you don't get the glasses, the visual system of the baby gets tired, so then it leans towards one eye and it starts to prioritize one eye. So early detection of farsightedness or hyperopia is vital, more so even than nearsightedness, which there's a lot to do about, but in current society, nearsightedness is actually an advantage, as most money is earned and most work is done at a near distance. So early detection of farsightedness and also astigmatism, which is another discussion, is very important. But then if that's done and there's still strabismus, then often you get the patching treatment, and they recommend patching. In my view, that's okay, but that's not enough, and certainly not if you do it hours on end. Then you're just like persisting on limited treatment because you're trying to develop binocular vision, and patching inherently is a monocular treatment. Even though you patch the good eye, the dominant eye, to help the weaker eye, or like the cerebral development of the weaker eye, to spur that on. If you remove the patch, oftentimes the brain just resorts to the old way of the old monocular way, and it hasn't learned to use both eyes together. So inherently, it's a limited and a flawed treatment if you don't supplement it with other binocular exercises or stimulation, which again is a very broad topic of discussion, and maybe I'll do a video on various exercises that could be done. I think people would like that. And so that's the current manner of treatment, patching, and then because it's flawed, usually it fails, and then the doctor, the ophthalmologist, just recommends surgery, and that's it. Like, there's only one option left, surgery, which also it can be useful in combination with more elaborate rehabilitation and visual training, but oftentimes it's just like an only option thing, and we go in, we do it, and we go out, and there's no further help or assistance. So, and the thing with that is strabismus, or being cross-eyed, is mostly neurological, and if you do surgery, it's kind of the surface. You adjust the muscles, but again, you haven't taught the brain how to see binocularly. So even though the strabismus might be more subtle, and you won't actually see it from the outside aesthetically, or not as obviously, because the alignment is not perfect, but it's the difference between eye alignment is far more subtle, and the degree is much smaller. So then you're done, basically. In the current medical view, you're done. You got maybe glasses too late, then you got patching, which is flawed, then you got the surgery, which is only or mostly aesthetical. There are some cases in which it kind of jump-started the binocular system, but it's not the usual, how it usually goes. So my point, or my question, is just to give patients all the options, patching as a part of more broader visual training, or vision therapy, or vision rehabilitation. And then if you kind of hit a plateau or hit a wall, surgery is still on the table as kind of mechanical help, and then go back to training to further develop the brain to have more binocular skills, and then from that will spur, or that will make available a whole new range of life options. Like, it will help with navigation, sports, reading, mostly academical development. There will be a lot of people, they have more professional options at their disposal if they have better binocular vision. So it's really, really important, not only for very young children and babies, but also for older people like me, or even older. So I just the point of this video was to say that there's no such thing, in my opinion, and I've read a lot of studies about this. Even though some people are more genetically predisposed to have strabismus because of family history or genes or whatever, or yeah, mostly environment also, but there's no reason to just settle for this. Especially not if you have a strabismic baby. Don't settle for this. There's a lot of options still available for parents with strabismic babies, and I just want to tell those parents, look into all the options, not only vaginal surgery. Don't blindly follow advice from a doctor who tells you surgery is the only option, or that's it. Or even if you have to do surgery, go further, develop the binocular brain, and see what happens, and your child will thank you for it later, or it won't. But it will have a much better life anyway. So thank you for watching. I'm Michael from strabismussoil.com, and I will be making more videos later. Thank you, bye.